It started like any other royal PR moment, calculated, polished, and meticulously staged. Meghan Markle, all smiles and flawless glam, casually walking down the aisle of an American Airlines flight, waving to passengers like she was shooting a lifestyle commercial, a handwritten thank you note to the flight crew, cheerful banter with attendants, flashes of warmth captured perfectly on camera. To the untrained eye, it looked like a charming, harmless photo op. But beneath that, sunny. Exterior, a storm was brewing, one that no media team could contain. Because while Meghan was playing sky-high sweetheart at 30,000 feet, a bombshell was exploding on the ground. One that could shake the very foundation of the royal narrative. And before we go any further, subscribe to the channel right now, because if you think this is intense, the next revelation could shatter royal history. The turbulence didn't come from the flight. It came from the other airline, British Airways. That's where the real story began to unravel. A crew member from a royal tour flight had stayed silent for years, until now. Anonymous but credible, this whistleblower came forward with a disturbing observation. Meghan, during a long-haul flight with her baby, showed zero emotional connection, no eye contact, no warmth, no interaction. According to this attendant, the baby didn't even respond to her. Every bit of care came from the nanny, not Meghan. One moment of coldness could be brushed off as jet lag or exhaustion, but this wasn't just one moment. It was, for many, the missing puzzle piece in a theory whispered in corners of the internet since 2019, that Meghan Markle may have never actually given birth to her children. And then came DL, no last name, no tabloid splash, just a woman stepping out of the shadows with a story that stunned even the most cynical observers. According to DL, she was hired by Meghan Markle to be a surrogate not once, but twice. Once for Archie, once for Lilibet. Her story sounds like something out of a psychological thriller, flown to a secret compound. Stripped of her phone, cut off from all outside communication, then told to deliver the babies and disappear. No legal contract, no proper surrogacy filing, just silence. A signed NDA and a vanishing act. She complied until she was ghosted after the second birth. That's when everything changed. DL says she was erased. No acknowledgement, no follow-up, no gratitude, just gone. She tried to move on, but the final straw came when she saw Meghan on screen, speaking tearfully about motherhood and trauma, playing the role of a mother warrior. DL said it felt like watching someone else, where her skin, that's when she snapped. She's done hiding, and she has receipts. We're talking videos from the compound, ultrasound scans, time-stamped medical records, even footage of her holding a newborn, everything lining up with the exact timeline of Archie and Lilibet's births. In one clip, she lies on a hospital bed, visibly pregnant, whispering the date and location into the camera. In another, she's cradling a newborn, weeping softly while a masked nurse tends to her. Her face, her belly, her voice, it's all there, and DL isn't asking for fame. She's not selling interviews. She says she turned down multiple tabloid offers. What she wants is the truth. And she's even offering to take a supervised DNA test. Test me. Test them. Let's see who's lying, she said. Suddenly, those old rumors didn't seem so crazy. Remember that viral clip of Meghan's belly folding in on itself during a public appearance? Back then, people dismissed it as a weird camera angle or a fashion mishap. But now, in the context of DL's claims, that clip has resurfaced, like a smoking gun. Viewers are slowing it down frame by frame. They're pointing out the odd angles, the deflated shape, the way it seemed to collapse as Meghan bent over. And it's not just the belly. The way baby photos were released, blurred, distant, artistic to the point of anonymity, now feels deliberate. There's that infamous baby feet photo. People have analyzed it down to the fingernail. Those aren't Meghan's hands, some said. Wrong skin tone, different nail shape. Others noticed Meghan never looked truly postpartum in her early photos, no swelling, no physical recovery signs, and then came the insider leaks. Once DL's claims went public, other palace whispers turned into quiet confirmations. A royal aide reportedly said concerns had been raised internally for years about the lack of official medical documentation around Meghan's pregnancies. Not publicly, of course, the firm kept up appearances, but behind closed doors, there were meetings, contingency plans, nervous conversations. Now those secrets are crashing into the spotlight. Senior palace advisors are reportedly reviewing constitutional law, because Archie and Lilibet didn't just get media attention, they were given royal titles. And if those titles were based on a fraudulent claim of birth, the monarchy could be facing its biggest legitimacy crisis in modern history. The problem is this: there's no public record of a surrogate arrangement, no official acknowledgement. If Meghan didn't give birth, and there was no legal surrogate, then by royal law, the children's titles could be revoked. Their place in the line of succession could be eliminated. It's not just about parenthood, it's about governance. And the palace is reportedly in panic mode. But the chaos isn't just confined to the UK. Back in California, Meghan's PR machine is running in overdrive. After the British Airways leak and DL's video evidence began circulating, Meghan's social channels suddenly burst with warm, glowing family content. Home videos of kids playing in the garden, blog posts about resilience and motherhood, smiling snapshots of a perfect domestic life. But sharp-eyed viewers weren't convinced. One video supposedly featuring Lilibet drew particular scrutiny. Observers said the little girl didn't resemble either parent. No red hair. Different eye shape. Reddit threads exploded, side-by-side comparisons, speculation, skepticism. But perhaps the most damning sign of panic is how Meghan herself has responded, or rather, how she hasn't. Her team has issued no direct statements. Instead, sources say she's spiraling behind closed doors. Former staffers describe her as erratic, tearful, snapping at assistants, obsessively scrolling social media. One ex-aide claimed Meghan broke down after seeing a TikTok montage comparing DL's pregnancy videos to her own staged appearances. The resemblance, the timing, the body language, it was too much to ignore. Meanwhile, Harry has gone completely silent. No public comments, no denials. Friends say he's become withdrawn, dodging calls, distancing himself from longtime allies. Some believe he's known about DL all along, carrying the guilt. Others think he's still in denial, hoping silence will let it all blow over. But the world isn't letting go. In the court of public opinion, silence equals complicity. The silence from Harry and Meghan is deafening and dangerous. Because while they remain mute, DL is gaining traction. She's not shouting from rooftops. She's not staging press conferences. She's doing something far more powerful, letting the evidence speak, and it's starting to echo across every corner of the media. Multiple news outlets have confirmed they've been contacted by DL's legal team, not to sell her story but to verify it. They're seeking independent experts to examine her videos, validate medical records, and analyze metadata. This isn't tabloid fluff. This is a methodical, calculated build-up toward a moment of truth that can't be spun by any PR firm. DL isn't interested in money. She's not chasing a book deal. According to insiders, she's preparing for one thing only: a supervised third-party DNA test. Quiet, clinical, and indisputable. Behind the scenes, Meghan's team is in absolute crisis mode. Sources say private investigators have been hired to dig into DL's past. Labs that might agree to test her samples are being quietly contacted, some even threatened with legal action. Not to disprove anything, but to delay. To buy time to stall the story until it loses momentum, but it's not working. Because for every move Meghan makes, DL has already prepared the counter, and the brands, they're watching closely and they're jumping ship. One high-end baby product company, once proud to partner with Meghan's motherhood initiative, has scrubbed all references to the collab from their website. A publishing house that was planning a children's book based on her parenting journey has reportedly shelved the project. Fashion brands, always hypersensitive to controversy, are backing away. "We can't attach ourselves to a story this unstable," said one executive. Inside the palace, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just a tabloid scandal, it's a constitutional crisis. Royal historians are already weighing in. If DL's DNA test proves her claims, the implications are Archie and Lilibet could be formally removed from the line of succession, not just symbolically, but legally. Titles could be stripped. Royal inheritance rights revoked. And more than that, every single royal birth moving forward could be subject to verification and scrutiny. For a family built on image, tradition, and bloodlines, this is a nightmare scenario. And it's not just about Meghan anymore, it's about the institution. The monarchy has survived wars, divorces, abdications, but never a scandal like this. A fake birth. A cover-up at the highest level. That's a new level of explosive. And still, Harry says nothing. Insiders say King Charles has been briefed multiple times in the past few weeks. Senior advisors are pressuring him to make a public statement or at least initiate a private investigation. If we don't take control of the narrative, one advisor allegedly warned, we risk losing control of the crown. And that's not just palace melodrama, that's reality. Because every headline chips away at royal credibility. Every unanswered question casts doubt, and every delay empowers DL. Back in Montecito, the mood has shifted. Meghan, once hailed as the Duchess, is reportedly unraveling behind closed doors. Former staffers describe her as anxious, volatile, and increasingly paranoid. She's allegedly demanding loyalty oaths from her inner circle, vetting past staff interactions, and even re-watching her old appearances for inconsistencies. Her focus: control the optics. But it's too late. The internet has already turned. People are analyzing her wardrobe choices during pregnancy. Her posture, her gait, her belly shape, in different lighting. The more they dig, the more questions emerge. And through it all, DL remains calm. She's refused every request for a televised interview. She's ignored financial offers. She's staying away from the spotlight because she doesn't want fame. She wants the truth. This isn't revenge, she reportedly told a friend. It's reclamation. I'm not a footnote in someone else's fairy tale. Her quiet resolve is what terrifies the Sussex camp the most. Because you can't spin. Calm, you can't smear someone who isn't playing the fame game, and you can't hide from facts, especially when they come wrapped in time-stamped footage and hospital records. Now, social media is ablaze. Hashtags questioning the Sussex children's origins are trending worldwide. Commentators who once defended Meghan are going quiet, and podcasts that once praised her motherhood journey are now dissecting every frame of DL's evidence. It's not a PR storm, it's a Category 5 implosion. And Meghan's carefully crafted image, the warrior mom, the victim of media bullying, the relatable duchess, has never looked more fragile. Even her supporters are asking questions. Why hasn't she taken a DNA test to disprove DL? Why hasn't she presented hospital records, medical staff, or even a formal surrogacy agreement to shut this down? The absence of evidence is louder than any denial could be. And still nothing from Harry. Some believe he's in shock. Others think he's complicit, having gone along with the plan to protect Meghan or perhaps even the monarchy. But if he was duped, that's its own tragedy. If he wasn't, it's something darker. Either way, his silence is being interpreted not as caution but guilt. As we approach the boiling point, all eyes are now on DL's next move. If she goes forward with a third-party DNA test, and if the results back up her claims, it won't just be a scandal, it'll be a reckoning. A moment where image and reality finally collide, where truth cuts through spin, and where the future of royal legitimacy could be rewritten by one woman who refused to be erased. Legal experts are already circling the case. Multiple family law attorneys, surrogacy consultants, and constitutional scholars are weighing in on what this could mean. If DL submits to a DNA test and it confirms her claims, Meghan and Harry could face more than just a reputation crisis. They could face accusations of fraud, misrepresentation, and potential legal challenges over royal benefits, housing arrangements, and the titles granted to their children. In the United Kingdom, falsely claiming a royal birth without proper documentation or legal surrogacy isn't just controversial. It could be constitutionally destabilizing. The crown isn't built on popularity, it's built on bloodlines, on documentation, on provable lineage. And right now, all of that is under fire, behind palace walls. The word illegitimacy is being whispered against something the monarchy hasn't had to confront in generations. If Archie and Lilibet were not legally born of Meghan and no proper surrogate was documented, then their very existence on the royal registry becomes null. Not only could they lose their titles, they could be written out of the succession entirely. Think about that for a moment. The children of Prince Harry, the once beloved son of Princess Diana, could be erased from royal history because of a deception no one saw coming. And yet, even in the face of that possibility, Meghan and Harry remain silent, but silence doesn't stop the machine, it fuels it. Media outlets are preparing exposés. Investigative journalists are filing FOIA requests. Independent researchers are analyzing every photograph, every timeline, every public statement. Reddit sleuths are digging up archived footage, hospital schedules, flight paths, anything that could verify or contradict DL's timeline. It's like the entire internet has become a forensic lab, and what they're uncovering only deepens the questions. One clip shows Meghan at an event, visibly pregnant, yet moving with the ease of a yoga instructor, no weight shift, no discomfort, no altered gait. Another shows her baby bump appearing slightly different in size from one appearance to the next, sometimes on the same day. At first, these were dismissed as dress shapes, lighting, or camera tricks. But now, in the context of DL's testimony, they look more like evidence than anomalies. Even the Netflix docuseries that Harry and Meghan released is under fresh scrutiny. Viewers are rewatching the family scenes, pausing, zooming, comparing. One viral clip from the show features Meghan swaying a baby in her arms only. Now people are claiming the baby looks like a doll. Freeze frames, pixel comparisons, even bone structure overlays. It's a digital autopsy of their entire public narrative. And through it all, DL has remained composed, focused, and, above all, consistent. Her story hasn't changed. Her tone hasn't wavered. And her proof? It's growing by the day. But what does she really want? According to those closest to her, DL doesn't want to ruin lives. She doesn't want revenge. She wants acknowledgement. She wants the truth to live where lies once thrived. Those children deserve to know who brought them into this world. she reportedly told a friend, and the public deserves to know what kind of story they've been sold. This isn't about bitterness, it's about being erased from her own reality. And in a world where image is everything, DL's truth cuts sharper than any headline. If the DNA test happens and Meghan refuses to cooperate, will only deepen suspicion. If the test is completed and confirms DL's story, it could trigger formal action from the Crown. The royal family could be forced to convene a legal review of succession protocols, titles, and inheritance rights. And that kind of review, it doesn't just affect Archie and Lilibet. It opens the door for deeper, older questions about legitimacy, transparency, and trust inside the royal system. The monarchy, already bruised by years of scandal, racism, accusations, and public fallout, may not survive another blow to its core foundation. The public's patience is thinning, trust is brittle, and the more this story spreads, the more irreversible the damage becomes. So where do we go from here? DL has reportedly secured legal counsel. She's cooperating with experts and preparing to release a formal public statement alongside her DNA evidence, not through tabloids, not through a press conference, but through a neutral third party, supervised and legally binding. No drama, just facts. And that alone is enough to terrify those clinging to the crumbling PR illusion. Meghan, meanwhile, is facing a crossroads. If she continues to remain silent, she risks losing the only currency she has, left: public sympathy. If she speaks and denies it, she'll be asked to prove it. And if she tries to attack DL's credibility, it could backfire spectacularly, because DL's not alone anymore. Whistleblowers, royal insiders, former staff, they're all starting to talk quietly, yes, but the walls are closing in. Harry's legacy is also at stake. Once the world's favorite prince, now a man caught in the eye of a truth storm. Was he protecting Meghan? Was he fooled? Was he complicit? Whatever the answer, it no longer matters, because silence has become its own kind of confession. In the end, this isn't just about surrogacy or deception or royal titles. It's about trust. It's about truth. It's about how far people will go to create a fairy tale, and what happens when the illusion breaks. So if you're watching this and wondering what happens next, don't look away, because this story isn't over. And if DL's truth proves real, we won't just be rewriting a chapter of royal history, we'll be flipping the entire book. If you found this story shocking, unsettling, or simply unbelievable, hit that subscribe button now, because the next chapter in this royal unraveling is coming fast, and you won't want to miss what happens when the truth finally hits the throne.